The universal remote control. You know, these guys. You know, they were all the rage back in the 90s and early 2000s, but in 2023, are they still worth it? This one is from Sofabaton. We're going to check it out and review it and see if it is. Let's get started. What up, everybody? It's George Langabeer with SilverHammer Surveillance, coming to you from Voltage Studio. Here on the channel, we talk smart home tech. We talk home security. We have videos weekly. Check us out on the socials, specifically Instagram, where I give you insight into myself, George, the man behind SilverHammer Surveillance, and also SilverHammer Surveillance as a company. We also give you some behind-the-scenes stuff in the smart home world, in the home security world. Check us out on Instagram. All right, moving on today, we're talking about the smart home world. We're talking about universal remote controls. Are they still worth it in 2023? They were the rage in the 90s and early 2000s. But yeah, where are we at with them now? We're talking about one from Sofabaton. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about the specs. I'm going to give you my thoughts. Let's check it out. Let's start with the unboxing. All right, now that we've unboxed, let's talk about some specs. We're talking about the Sofabaton U2 Universal Remote Control with Smartphone app. Long-range infrared, all-in-one universal remote control, compatible for smart TVs, DVD players, set-top boxes, projectors, streaming players, and Blu-ray players. So you can control all of that with this remote control. It uses infrared and Bluetooth. It's $59.99. We'll put the affiliate link in the description below. And let's talk about all the specs. So you can use this up to 35 feet. Before it was 20 feet. They've upgraded it with this remote control. As a strong and stable signal, they've upped the IR range in this particular model. It's compatible with 500,000 plus devices, which is awesome, from 6,000 plus different brands. So as far as universal remotes go, this has a lot of compatibility. You can assign custom macro, send multiple commands from a single button, which saves time and effort. This has a motion-activated function, supports infrared learning from your other remotes, has a scroll wheel with an OLED display, has big buttons for ease of use, easy to open for the battery compartment. That's an improvement they made over one of their other models, and it makes the perfect gift. That's what Sofabaton says. It requires 2 AA batteries, which are included, and again, it is $59.99. All right, let's talk about the compatible smartphone app. All right, so you get yourself the Sofabaton app on the App Store, and this app is how you set up the remote. It takes 2 minutes. It's very easy to do. And again, this remote control is replacing all your other remote controls, whether they're Bluetooth or infrared. Once you've set it up, you've got all your devices there. You can just keep adding devices. I did my LG TV, my Apple TV, and my Dyson air purifiers and fans, and it was very easy to set up. But basically, there's a learning process where it learns the buttons from those remotes. It's got a scroll wheel where you can scroll between your devices with a nice little OLED screen to tell you what device you're on, and it's so easy to use. But here in the app, you've got your list of devices. You got a little icon next to it. You can change the name, you can change your icon, you can reprogram the keys if you need to, and then you can remove the device if you need to remove one. Also at the top of the screen, that's where you would add a new device if you have one. Again, I'm just using it for these 3. Now, me personally, I'm coming from a world where I was using an iPhone 14 that was inactive. It didn't have cellular service, and I had all the different apps for everything here at Voltage Studio, and that's the way I was using a universal remote control. I like that because the iPhone is small. I've used an iPad Air for that. I've used an iPad Pro for that. I've used an iPad Mini for that, but I really like having an iPhone because it's small and you can carry it anywhere. Back in the day, I used to use the iPod Touch. Now I can't go that far back in technology, so I can't use the touch anymore. So I'm using a phone. So the question is, would I use this instead? For me personally, no. But I think it'd be great for a lot of people that don't have an extra iPhone laying around, that just want to simplify their remote control life. This is very well made. I like that about it. The companion app is great. Now, once you get your devices in the app, there's not much reason to go back to the app. You can just use the remote control as is. But if you ever add a device or want to delete a device, that's where you'd go back to the app. But as far as my thoughts, great build quality. I love the OLED screen. Scroll, that's very easy to use and go between devices. Some universal remotes are so complicated. This one is very simple. You've got all the buttons you want. You know, I didn't know how I'd be able to use my Dyson fan air purifier, but it works great. I didn't know how I'd be able to use my Apple TV, but it works great. One thing I will say about the Apple TV, and if I didn't have my iPhone method that I talked about, one detractor to this is the Apple TV, you can't use Siri. So it doesn't have a Siri button. I talked to them about this. They might work on that in the future. They appreciated my feedback, and I'm not the first one that said that. So, but otherwise, the LG functions, everything works. Great. The Dyson functions, surprisingly, everything works. Great. Apple TV is just missing Siri. So it's very simple and straightforward. So there's not much to talk about with this thing other than the fact that I really like it. I'm just not personally going to stick with it because I like my iPhone method that I carry between, and my iPhone just does everything. Nano leaf, hue, everything you can think of, whereas this is limited to infrared and Bluetooth. So great remote control and very well made, and they've been an awesome company to work with. And so I really appreciate them sending this remote. They did send it to me, but of course I'm gonna give you my honest feedback. Really have no complaints other than that Siri button, but it's just not for me just because of what I'm used to using. But for a lot of you out there, this could be an awesome way to get rid of all the remote control clutter. All right, so let me know in the comments what you think. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We very much appreciate having you here. You're all very supportive. We love you to death. Keep them coming. If you're new to the party, welcome. Very much appreciate you joining us. But until the next video, peace and love.